Hello, friends. Welcome to today's football predictions on Betkraft. All right, today is another wonderful Thursday morning. As usual, we'll come up with our games. You know, uh, today, and we're looking at how we fared yesterday. We had a very disappointing outcome yesterday, seeing that Manchester City had a very barren draw against Inter Milan yesterday, and also we saw the second on this game also coming out very barren. That's quite not typical of what we expect in Champions League games, but these things do happen sometimes, and that will not deter us from doing our best today to see that we have a very much better results today. All right. Today again we'll have the mostly Champions League matches, also the likes of Barcelona, Atalanta and Arsenal in our predictions. All right, in a short while we'll be looking at these matches one after the other, but I want to use the opportunity to ask those of us who are coming across our video for the first time to kindly take out time to hit the subscription button down there so that you don't miss out on our subsequent games that will always come up on this channel on a daily basis. All right, have you done that? Okay, we've done it. All right, thank you very much. Let's head to the business of today. Without further ado, we'll be starting with the very first match for today's prediction. It is actually the Champions League match between Monaco FC and FC Barcelona. All right, when you look at these two teams, you see that for Monaco, they have been able to achieve 4 victories in the past 6 games. They've lost 1 as well as 1 draw in the past 6 encounters. But FC Barcelona, their way side, we've seen a very exciting Barcelona in that in different dimension. We'll see how they've been winning their matches, and in the past 6 they've won 5 games out of those past 6 games, and I've had just 1 draw in the past 6. And when you look at how these two teams fared in their home, looking at the home and away perspective, you can see that Monaco, the home side, have actually been able to manage 5 victories in the past 10 home games, and they've also had 3 draws, but have lost 2 games playing from home. Those 2 losses actually were in a friendly match, friendly match, and preseason matches right before the season. And away side, on the other hand, FC Barcelona have been able to achieve 8 victories from away, and have lost 2 games in the past 10 away games that they have so far. And those 2 losses were in the Clasico match against Madrid, as well as the loss they had against Girona last season, where they lost by 4-2. But we saw them overturning that the last match where they defeated Girona by 4-1. Okay, and it's a very exciting Barcelona side, I must say. And in this very encounter, we really expected Barcelona side, who have actually had a very good winning run, to continue the winning run even against Monaco FC in this very game. So it is actually their way side that we expect to rise to the occasion. FC Barcelona to win outrightly in this very game. That's all bad for that very count. So that takes us to the next, and it is also in Champions League match where we'll have Feyenoord coming up against another wonderful team, Leverkusen. Okay, when you look at Feyenoord have won just 1 game in the past 6. They've had 4 draws, but they've also lost 1. And Feyenoord and Bayer Leverkusen, the second team, their way side, actually have been able to manage to achieve 3 victories, 2 draws, and 1 loss in the last 6 seasons encounter. We all know Bayer Leverkusen last season was such a very fantastic side, and they were able to win their league unbeaten. Only beaten by Atalanta in the finals of the UEFA Cup. All right, and when you look at how these two teams have performed in recent times, you see that Feyenoord is also a very strong side. They've actually been able to achieve 8 victories in the past 10 home games that they had, and they were able to they had 1 draw as well as 1 loss. Their last 2 games actually saw them playing after 1-1 draw against William 2. And when you look at the away side, on the other hand, Bayer Leverkusen, they've had 7 victories in the past 10 away games. They have lost 2 games, 1 to Atalanta, and the other one they're friendly in a preseason friendly against Arsenal, where they lost by 4-1. But they had 1 draw as well. But we saw how they fared in the same time. The last match they played from away was against TSG Hoffenheim. We saw them defeating Hoffenheim by 4-1, and we know that Bayer Leverkusen is a very good side, and we'll be expecting a result for their away side in this very one. And in this game, Bayer Leverkusen, their away side, is expected to rise to the occasion and win outright in this very match, and open their Champions League account with a win. So it is a win for their away side. That's all valid for that very game. Okay, and that takes us to the next for today. It is also a UEFA Champions League match where we'll have Atalanta, who will be up against Arsenal. Right, the UEFA UEFA Cup champions Atalanta coming up against Arsenal FC. All right, it's going to be a very, very, exciting match to watch. You know, and we look at Atalanta, we see that they've been able to win 2 games in the past 6, and they've lost 4 out of those past 6 games that they had. And Arsenal, on the other hand, have won 5 games out of the past 6. They've had 1 draw. You know, that tells you how good this team is. Arsenal is also a very good side, and looking at Atalanta in the past 10 home games that they have so far, they've been able to win 7 out of those past 10 home games. That tells you how good this team is. We saw them, defeating the likes of Roma and the rest of them from home. All right, and they've lost 3 games actually, and in the past 10 home games that they played out so far. And looking at Arsenal's side, they've been able to win 7 from away. They've also had 2 losses as well as 1 draw. And also looking closely, you can see that for Atalanta, the last 4 games that they play from home actually produced lots of goals, over 2.5 on 2 occasions, over 4.5 on 2 occasions as well. And when you put that into account, also noting the fact that Arsenal also have been producing a very similar situation too. They've been scoring a lot of goals, and in this very match, it is difficult to separate the two. But we decided to go for a goal verdict for this very one, and we expect to see, a minimum of 3 goals appearing in this, judging by the fact that the last 4 home games that Atalanta have played have actually produced lots of goals. So we'll see lots of goals in this. So it is over 2.5 chance of verdict in this very encounter. All right, that takes us to the next game, and it is in Russian Cup, where we have Spartak Moscow will be up against Krylya Sovet. All right, Spartak Moscow have actually won 3 games in the past. The past 6 recent games. They've had 2 draws, but they've as well lost 1. And the away side, Sovetov have actually managed to win 2 games, but have lost 4 out of the past 6 recent encounters. When you look at how these 2 teams fared, from home and away perspective, you can see that Spartak Moscow, the home side, have won 8 games in the past 10 home games that they had so far. Losing 1 to Wachachkala and 1 draw also. All right, 80% of the home matches for the home side have actually resulted to win. Okay, and that tells you that they are very, very much ready, especially when they're playing from home. And when you look at the away side, Krylya Sovetov, they've actually won 2 games from away, and they've had 2 draws, but they've lost 6 games in the past 10 away games that they played out so far. And that tells you 60% of the away matches for the away side have resulted to a loss for the away side. And when you look at how these 2 teams have performed from head to head, the last time they met, it was in August this year, just last month. We saw Spartak Moscow winning from away against the Krylya Sovetov by 3-0. All right, and prior to that, we also saw Spartak Moscow defeated the side by 3-0. It has always been 3-0 in the past 3 meetings for both sides, and it has also always been Spartak Moscow who have always had the victory against this very side. So in this very game, putting all this together, or put all the data together, data from home and away perspective, as well as the head-to-head perspective, we will definitely expect Spartak Moscow to rise to the occasion and win in this very cup match. It is the home side to win outrightly. That's what we expect this very game. Home win, that's a verdict for that very encounter. Okay, that takes us to the next, and the next is in Estonia. First division will have Tabasalu coming up against Flora too. And when you look at the home side, Tabasalu, they have been able to achieve 2 victories, but they've lost 4 games in the past 6 or 7 games. And the away side, Flora too, have won 4 games, losing 1 as well as 1 draw in the past recent 6 matches for the away side. And when you look at how they perform from home and away perspective, you could see that looking at the home side, Tabasalu, the home side have won 2 games in the past 10 home matches, about 2 draws, but have lost 6 games. As a matter of fact, the last 2 home games they played saw them losing out those 2 games, losing heavily, from home. And looking at the away side, on the other hand, Flora, they've had 6 victories in the past 10 away games, but they've had 4 draws. They've not lost a single match in the past 10 away games that they played out so far. That tells you, it's a very strong side. Being able to win 60% of their away matches that they have so far, that tells you that it's a team to achieve a result. And when you look at how these 2 teams perform from home and away, from head-to-head perspective, you could see that Flora, the last time they met, had a very, very strong victory against Tabasalu, winning by 5-0 on that occasion. Prior to that, we also saw them defeating this side by 4-0. That tells you that Flora is currently, very, very wonderful side, and they're doing very well at the moment. And in this very encounter, we'll expect their away side, Flora, to achieve a result right into the occasion of winning this match out shortly. That's our party for that very game, and we win. That's what we expect. All right, that brings predictions for you today on Betkraft to a conclusion. Okay, I wish you the very best of luck, and I hope your ticket goes green once again. And also remember to play responsibly. It's only football games, as we know. Sometimes things do happen, and expectations change. All right. That being said, please play responsibly, and also remember tomorrow is another day, and we'll be coming up with our positions right on this channel. So I expect to see you. Don't miss out. But until then, keep winning.